Welcome to Cultured Chaos. I'm your host, Baig, and I'm with the legendary Owais Khan.
Yes, bruv. How are you, man?
I'm good, not bad.
What's been happening? I feel like I haven't seen you in ages.
It's been a while. Been busy, been working.
You're up at like... Ange is a changed man.
Yep, man.
Ange is a new Ange. Ange is the Ashton Hall of Harrow. He's up at, 4 a.m. now, aren't you?
4 a.m. every day, counting calories again. I'm got this new thing attached to me. It's like a tag, and it just tells me what time I should go.
Isn't that usually around the ankle, brother?
Yeah. So with this one, it just does a lot more. Like it does so much more. But you will see a transformation in me. But that's enough about me always. Today we have a very special guest. Right, we're talking about someone who is more than a businesswoman. We're talking about a boss who created a blueprint, entrepreneur, content creator, sold hundreds and thousands of products. Yes, the legendary, the boss, Erim Kaur, everybody.
That was hype, bro.
That
was hype. How are you?
I feel very gassed up right now.
As you should be. You're on Cultured Chaos, the best podcast in the world.
I'm excited to be here, guys. Thank you.
How are you? What have you been up to?
No, good. It's raining horrendously right now, so I'm glad that we're inside.
I feel that whenever it rains in the UK now, the conversation is, so when are we moving to Dubai, guys?
Honestly,
do you get that a lot?
I mean, I'm a resident in Dubai, so I'm there between London and Dubai.
See, that's what I'm telling you.
Oh, so have you got your gold visa in Dubai?
Not gold visa. We got the business one because we own property or something like that.
Oh, I didn't know that. Straight from the jump, she's given us something we don't know about Erim. Yeah, that's interesting.
Would you ever move to Dubai?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd move to Dubai specifically because it's a bit hectic. I'd work there, but perhaps base myself a little bit further out. I've got family now, so it's a bit hectic for me. But it's warm, and I hate this cold weather.
Yeah.
I know he's itching to go, aren't you?
Well, interestingly enough, my brother Moses...
He's there, isn't he?
He's there. He's actually left London, and he's now living in Dubai. So he's just
so happy as well, doesn't he?
He's just chilling like, every day.
That's great, man.
He goes, bruv, it's so hot, every day.
I told that to Moses, yeah, bruv, what are you saying?
Because that's how he talks.
My dad's there right now, and he's like, even the wind is hot. Like, it hurts your eyes when it blows wind.
That's the
thing.
thing.
That's nice, because here it rains in your eyes when you open them, so it's honestly...
But I'm just thinking, like, summertime there is when everyone kind of runs back to London.
Exactly. It's dead. Dubai is dead in summer. Like, no one's doing work. Like, no one's responding. Everyone's out of offices on. But then come, like, September time where, school time starts, everyone is on it. And I love that time.
But would you rather be too hot or too cold? Because it's like 50 degrees there in June, isn't it?
It's insane. No, I'd rather be too cold. What about you guys?
I'd rather be sweating and happy than cold and miserable.
Yeah.
When you're cold,
I'm a summer boy.
Until my shoulder starts to hurt, my back hurts. But when it's hot, it's like I'm sweating. You get a bit tan, you look a bit healthy.
No. I'm too much into gym not to love the summer.
That's what I'm saying, sure.
Like, we went Norway. I remember going Norway, and it was just like, where are we going? And then Mrs. was like, yeah, it's like a ski trip kind of vibe. And I was like, okay. She was like, make sure you pack up something warm, Ange. And I didn't understand. I thought double layers. It was cold. When I say cold, I was like, yeah, I'm never doing Norway again, boy. This is not me.
The vest and that was it, didn't you?
Oh, mate. It was... Even the, what you call it, the things that's meant to keep you warm.
Even the, what do you call it? What's it called?
I don't know what it's
called.
Thermals.
Yeah.
The thermals.
Long johns. Did you wear some?
Yeah.
I
had to buy it from there because I forgot I was like,
but the gyms in Dubai are so cool.
Yeah, they are.
You've seen them, right?
Yeah.
You would love it. The gyms.
Oh, yeah.
So cool.
I like how you tried to change your...
I don't know what I'm doing.
See, a lot of people don't know this, but you're proper into your fitness as well, isn't it?
Yeah. I feel like I was training with Ikram for 4 years.
Yep.
And that was like a private studio. It was just me and her girl time. And I was confident. I knew how to use all her machines.
Yep.
I was familiar. And then a year ago, I joined an actual gym. And I was like...
It's a different vibe, isn't it? It's a
different vibe.
Okay.
And especially if you go at certain times. I've joined a gym. We've got a tripod now. And I get that. You want to film content. I get it. We film content. But... it's crazy, and the thing is, being a girl in a gym is it's tough being a girl in a gym because guys are absolute imbeciles.
Still,
bro, come on. Like, you get it, I get it, and we're not even girls, so I mean...
Yes.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Imagine being a girl in the gym, bro. Guys are thirsty, like young, they're standing groups with their phones and...
Oh yeah, she's here.
Oh, look, Erim is here.
I know I have it. They'll DM me afterwards, and because I go to a really small independent gym,
Yeah.
so everyone that goes,
What's the name and location for the viewers?
everyone that goes is like my neighbours. We all see each other in and around the environment. So I do think there's a bit of respect there for sure. But I started with the classes because I was doing PT for 4 years. I was used to just going in, being told what to do, brain turns off. And for me, that's what I loved about the gym. I didn't want to be there counting my reps, working out what machine to go to. So I just started doing the classes. And classes generally are girls. And there's such a nice community of girls there. Like you go, you're walking through, hey, hey, hey. So I think that's been one of the really big contributing factors for me being so consistent with that gym over the last year.
Talking about fitness, because I was meant to ask you this later on. I'm just going to go and shoot at you now because it's just so organic, man.
Like,
But you're a vegetarian for religious reasons, right? And then does that affect your fitness and stuff? Because
I guess so. It's a bit difficult to reach the amount of protein that you need to have in a day.
Yeah.
And especially me, like I'm not super consistent when it comes to like my diet and everything. So I'll eat when I can. I really believe in intuitive eating. You do too?
I'm like that, yeah.
If
you're
you're
hungry, eat.
That's it. Yeah. Or if you're craving sugar or craving chocolate, I'm thinking, I might not be scientifically correct here, but like my body needs something that's in that chocolate. I will give myself that chocolate. But you know, when you're doing it intuitively, sometimes you do be so busy that you're forgetting to eat.
Yep.
So I'd say the nutrition element of my fitness routine needs to be improved for sure.
But there is elements of when you have chocolate, it makes you feel better. There's endorphins that releases that actually make you feel good about
Andrew has a snack drawer in his house. Like
We all do know.
no, I don't anymore because my daughter can reach the snack drawer. She started opening. She goes, "Cookie, one cookie for me." I'm like, "Man, she's got to get rid of the snack drawer now." So no snack drawer anymore.
Wait, and what's in your snack drawer?
Oh, what isn't
I got to just to go in the snack drawer. I'm like, "What should I do here?"
You're asking the wrong question. It is what isn't in the snack drawer. There's from Doritos to Pringles to
Dairy
Kit
Milk
Kats.
to Kit
It's a
Kats.
tuck shop. I don't know if in school you had a tuck shop. We have one in our house, but
That's so funny.
since I've started doing some mindset work, and I've actually got a mindset coach, and it's completely changed my life. I promise you, it's insane.
Wow.
So I'm really looking after what I eat, and I'm actually a bit of a pescatarian now.
Okay.
Because it helps me just shred. So I can understand being veggie and it helping.
What? When did you what?
I told you, I've changed, bro.
I haven't seen you in 3 weeks and everything's changed,
Everything's
bro.
changed. It's different. I'm using some oils by Erim. Everything's changed.
Oh, it's glowing,
My
bro.
beard. Why do you think it's shining today, bro? But talking about that, I want to know like other parts of your personality that people don't know about. Is it like I want to know like, you know, the real Erim, you know?
Yeah. I mean, when you walked in here, you were like, what's your star sign? And I think I really can, in certain business environments, I can give off, okay, she's a type A, she's an organized, she's a leader. But the truth of the matter is, you know, you can ask my friend, she sat here, I'm a very follower person by nature. I love, someone to be in charge, tell me where to be, tell me where to go, and I can just easygoing, just flow along with it. Like if I'm traveling with someone, I'm not holding my passport. I haven't been the one to check in. Was I the one who packed my bag? I mean, depends who's asking, yes. But realistically, I'm not thinking
That's
too
why-
much.
So what if you're traveling on your own? Do you then carry the passport? I presume you then pack your bag.
I do.
Okay,
I can handle it if I have to.
Say it.
But like, I haven't booked a flight myself, I'd say like maybe 5 years. Like, it's just all, I've got good buffers in life.
Compared to what we have to do with
Yeah.
it.
I know, honestly.
Like, carry the passport, do this. Get to the airport on time.
I'm not gonna.
Case wait.
All I'm gonna say is when you become a parent one day in the future, because you're very young still, it's like it changes. Your world turns upside down in a good way, obviously, but it's chaos. It's literal chaos.
It's culture
and then,
chaos.
Yes, culture chaos. You got no choice but to take certain responsibilities, and that's why I assumed I was like, are you a Virgo? Because your energy's giving off.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah, bro, I
okay.
respect that.
By the end of this, you're going to be like, oh no, she's defo Aquarius.
Yeah, I'm,
Both of us Virgos, aren't we?
That's what we
Sick,
get on,
bruv.
bruv,
Yeah,
that's
you're not
what-
Virgo. Yeah, both of us are Virgos, yeah.
Interesting.
So it actually is not that interesting, to be honest. Why did you lie? 1 second. Wait there. Before I jump into the next bit. Why did you just lie then? To make us... Why? Just to make us feel a little bit... Because you're so not interested that we're Virgos.
She went, interesting.
No, because Erim, you actually didn't give a shit that we were Virgos. And I want to know why.
So Virgos is one of my favorite star signs because they do be the one that's the leader. And they be handling stuff and I can just like follow along. Yeah.
We do be handlers.
I do consider myself a leader. I'm the leader of my family.
Oh, bro.
But today we've got your product here today. I want to talk a little bit about that and how you got started. I know you've been asked this 1,000 times, but please tell us, because our generation want to know about it.
And it is my pleasure to share this story. Like, it's so close to my heart.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of my brand and who I am online is built off the fact that I lost my mum when I was very young. I was 8 years old. But prior to losing her, I would literally, she was the one at the school gates. My mum was so beautiful and she had really long hair. So, like, I'm sure your daughters can relate. Like, they see something in their mum and whatever that thing is, that's what beauty is. And for me, my mum had freckles and she had long hair. And I was always like, oh my God. Long hair is just the definition, and healthy hair is the definition of what is beautiful to me. So as she passed when I was 8 years old, I was in custody with my dad and I was living with my dad and my brother. That was it. So when my dad would take my younger brother to the barber, #1 all over natural back, he would take me.
You got
No, not that. That's what my brother was getting.
I was going to say.
I thought she said so did I. Just to clear, she didn't get the #1.
And that's how it started. Yeah.
It's in proper men's barber, with
of
clippers.
course, yeah.
They would just get, after doing my brother's head, they would just get the clippers and they would clip my hair like in a little bob. My face does not carry a bob, and it definitely didn't back then. So I'd be sat in my daddy.
Now you're rocking a bob. It'll suit you now. Yeah.
Maybe one day. I would sit in my daddy's kitchen on the weekends. My dad would drop us to the grandparents and we would be talking about all these different concoctions that we could do. You guys can relate probably with your mums and stuff. Their kitchen has everything inside it.
Of course.
Right? So we were trying like day in the hair, yogurt in the hair. We were doing egg in the hair, honey in the hair, different types of oils. And a big part of South Asian culture is oiling your hair. But growing up in such a white mixed environment, there was no other Asian. So me going to school with like black seed oil, castor oil or mustard oil smelled awful. I looked greasy, I looked a mess, and maybe it was doing good for my hair, but it wasn't doing good for me.
Yeah.
So we then kept on experimenting for 6 years until we landed upon the formula that's inside my bottle today. And this is 8 pure oils, and each of them one has a different molecular weight and a different benefit, and they're balanced to perfection, like down to the 0.1%. Yeah.
You've done your research and all sorts. 1 second, the way she said molecular, this isn't just some kind of thing where you got.
You said it as well, bro. Well done, bro.
Thank you. She's educating me today. So, like, this isn't just something where, two Desis got together and made in the kitchen, and is like you've actually studied this, right?
Yeah. So I've done my trichology.
Oh wow.
Foundation year. And that taught me all the theory behind hair, scalp, chemical structure of products. Super informative. But that was after I launched. Obviously, when I launched this, I did it properly. Like, we got all the business certification, the stability testing, made it in a lab. Really, really long. It took me a year to launch the business. I ideated it in Jan 2019 and I launched December 2019. So I did it properly, but the biggest piece of advice that someone actually gave me, when I was calling around to all the different factories, obviously I didn't have that much money. Yeah. I was working in a nightclub for 6 years and I saved up my tips. So I was
That's where I've seen, no, I'm joking.
Maybe. But because I only had so much money, my order quantity was quite low. It was only 250 units. No one was really taking on board a little girl calling up, little voice. I was 24 at the time. They weren't taking me seriously. So they were like, oh, no, we can't take on board your business. Because they're thinking it's going to be a one-time 250 units. She's going to drop it and then we're not going to get repeat customer.
Okay.
One lady turned around and said to me, and she rejected me, but gave me the best advice. She said, listen, where do you want your business to be? And I said, I want to be in retailers. She goes, what type? I goes, Harrods, Selfridges, Harvey Nicks. And she said, listen, those are big, serious retailers. They are going to need every single example of paperwork that you've had, of testing that you've done, of certification that you've had, down to the very first bottle that you sold. And I said, all right, I'm not going to be able to do this desi and do it in a kitchen.
Yeah.
Let me make sure that I'm doing it, first of all, legally, but second of all, I'm doing it right by my customers. I'm not mixing it in a sink or something like that. That gave me so much confidence now when I'm having conversations with the current retailers and I'm like, ask me, test me. I've got all my customer service reports. I've got all the tracking of emails. But that, I think, is a testament to how rejection really did turn into something positive. And I will say the guy that did take on my business, we sold 105,000 bottles now. So he made the right decision.
105. That deserves a round of applause. 105. That's
impressive.
Because I was
Thanks,
reading like you turned over like 4.2 million like pounds. Like that's crazy for someone like you're still under 30 and
So
you're
young, yeah.
that's insane.
Yeah, I remember like I was so young, 24, like my voice was different. And like my dad has a proper like booming, deep, like little bit Cockney sounding voice. Like he sounds legit on the phone,
Yeah.
businessman. And I remember going up to him because I lived at home at the time and I was like, Dad, please take this guy on the phone, talk to him serious because they're not believing me that I've got something good here. And he was like, no, because if I get involved now, everyone's going to forever say that it was me that done it. And I was like, all right. So only after 6 months when we launched internationally and we made £250,000 in one day. Yeah,
Wow.
It was crazy. And I didn't even know what money was back then. I was like, what's this on the screen? Then he was like, all right, calm. You're doing this properly. Let me get involved. And then he helped me with, fulfillment and everything like that.
Insane.
Yeah. But I had to prove it to him.
No, the fact that you've turned grief into purpose and
amazing,
you know is you're like to have that strength. Where did that come from? Is that something that you find a power in God? Do you find it? Is it your beliefs? Is it where does that come from? That strength, or is your family really supportive? Because you seem very close to your father.
Definitely. I'd say like maybe people that grew up in a single parent household can relate, but my dad was 29 and he had custody of two very, very grieving, very, very hurt children. And seeing how hard he worked to grow his business and the businesses that he created after that, I was so intimately involved with the success of those. I was working since I was 14 in his businesses. I look back now and I'm like, it wasn't that I was motivated, is that I was running from poverty. I was running from the fear of knowing what it's like in a single parent household where you're relying on one person. How can one person? He was so young.
Yeah.
So I think I'm also motivated to do it, not for my dad as a thank you, but for my dad as, you got someone backing you now. You're not on your own.
So, being a Punjabi female, do you feel that you have a responsibility to represent your culture and your background and stuff?
I think so. I think in my own way, I think Punjabi, there's such a diverse community. There's so many ways to represent your Punjabi culture. For me, I was talking to you about this earlier, and like I grew up in an area of London that there's no Asians. There's everything else, but there's no Asians.
Yeah.
You too, right? I
I went to
remember.
school where I was the only Asian.
Yeah.
So I totally
Yeah.
understand. Yeah.
Always can
And-
relate to that.
Right. And for me, I didn't really have so much the culture because I've got a very small family and, my grandparents moved here when they were like in their teens.
Oh, wow.
So
Oh,
they're
young,
very,
yeah.
English. My dad, my mum was born here. So I grew up very, very English.
Did you suffer like? Did you get any racism or anything like that, or when you were growing up, being around that?
I think the way I look, it's kind of hard to place me, and especially
Okay.
the way I talk and the way I behave. Sometimes people don't know where I'm from. So I think it was kind of hard for someone to be racist towards me because they were like,
Okay.
we don't know what to make fun of her for. So I didn't feel like I really suffered it necessarily.
Okay.
But I know that I witnessed it at my school with the likes of people coming from like African background, Caribbean background. I saw it firsthand and I was like, okay, this is happening.
Wow.
Did you guys feel that ever?
I
I
mean,
got it every day.
he did.
I got in fights at school every day
Yeah.
because
Owais did.
I got called a packy, so they
Right.
combined my speech and my race, which is A for effort, I think personally. But I mean, yeah, I'm used to I became so thick-skinned to the whole thing that
I'm from Leighton, so there was so many Asians. They're like the ethnic minority were the gore in our.
Right.
So yeah, so ours was opposite.
You were the majority.
We were the majority.
You were doing the bullying.
So yeah, well, no, we weren't doing the bullying, but but yeah,
and just like, go back to where you came from.
yeah. We'll go.
That's funny.
So when did you feel you fully embraced your cultural?
Your Punjabiness.
Punjabiness, thank you.
Look, you can't run away from it. You're there. You're wearing the Desi outfits. We've seen what you do, and I think that you're representing Punjabi women in such a beautiful way. Yeah. You're a strong entrepreneur and a businesswoman, and I think it speaks volumes because there's hardly women out there like yourself. So naturally, whether you like it or not, there will be a sense of responsibility that you're gonna have, like.
And I'm proud to take that.
Yeah.
I think like to choose to put yourself out there, it's not a choice whether you're going to be a role model or not. You're going to be a role model, and you have to accept that as part of your responsibility. And I'll do my utmost best to do right by the Punjabi community. I think for me, the first experience of being immersed into the cultural side of it was at uni. So I went to University of Manchester. A lot more exposure to the Punjabi community. I was part of Sikh Society, the committee and everything like that. So I was like, whoa. You know, people coming up to me asking what my surname was, and I was telling them thinking they wanted to add me on Facebook, but they were asking because they wanted to know. They wanted to know like my background thing.
That's the typical Desi thing, though, isn't it? Everyone's like, oh, you know, what's your name? What's your background? Where you from? Who's your mum? Who's your dad?
Right.
And then it's, you know, all the other questions.
Oh, like that.
Right.
Oh, I see,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The caste. They ask everything.
Right.
Do you think South Asians are the nosiest people in the world?
Yes.
They're the most judgy people in the world. But they always got something to say. I mean, do you get a lot of like online hate?
Yeah, I would say that like the way that people approach me, I think where it's like, okay, we can see on the surface, you know, educated, got a business, like looks after herself, people try and find a little bit of a chink in my armor. But what they'll do then is they'll make something up.
Yeah.
So I had it where it went viral that my mum's death certificate. So they got her death certificate, like the London borough and everything.
What?
Yeah, but they changed her name to a Nigerian name and they changed her birth year date. So they made out that she was like African and a lot older. And there's nothing good or bad about that. But it was such a change in the way
That's
that they...
quite disturbing.
It was
isn't
disturbing.
It went that far.
It was
How
disturbing.
weird.
That's horrendous.
People are
Because I thought you
weird.
could have just kept it the way that it was. And that's a bit interesting to people seeing her death certificate. But yeah, they just do stuff. And it's kind of confusing to me, the angle that they're going at. Because I'm a bit like, you're weird.
Even me, the other day, I posted a TikTok and imagine just 8 Lamborghinis. And we had a campaign to shoot outside. Big up Change Patty. We was outside Change Patty.
Their food's great, by the way. Really good, yeah.
I mean, also shout out Ikam as well. Listen, this girl has had some crazy weight loss journey. She's now PT, so yeah, big ups to you as well.
Yeah,
'cause-
she's who I was with for 4 years.
I was going to say,
Yeah,
is that
Body
the
by
same
Ikam.
Ikam? If not,
yeah,
that's a
yeah.
huge coincidence,
She
isn't it?
smashed it.
She has.
So I just recorded a little video. I was like, oh, there's 8 Lamborghinis, guys, outside this, and then the comments, the hate was just like, probably a rental, probably this. I was like, there's not even one like, mashallah, you know what, well done, brothers. Like, oh,
Are you surprised?
You should be used to it now, bro.
I'm
I-
not even 1% surprised.
do you know what? The next TikTok after, I was like, guys, I lured you in. I knew exactly what you were going to say, and I did it on purpose to show you and expose this is the hate that it gets.
Yeah.
Because in the UK, even the South Asians, they like online, especially, obviously, not in real life, because in real life, I get shown so much love. But online,
They're not going to argue with you when you're in real life. Look at the size of you, bro.
but online is like, we only like make up 5 to 7% of the community, and they all have so much hate. It's like, we get enough anyway.
And it's always
It's insane.
You use a 364925829B.
Always.
I know the one.
It's
I know
always the
that guy.
same people, and it's nuts, honestly, isn't it? 'Cause it's easy to hide behind a screen, and
But I feel it's really disturbing for people to go that far to someone's mother's.
but that's how
What do you mean?
pardon my fuck the world is now, bro.
Yeah.
The world is there's horrible people out there, but yeah, that's crazy, honestly, to go to that extent.
They really care.
That's what I'm saying. But you've affected someone's life.
Yeah.
See, that's how I think about it. You've affected someone's life that much. Because I don't hate someone enough to go
Right.
to that extent. So either it's someone who actually knows you, which would be even weirder.
I don't know how to find my mum's death certificate online.
That's what I'm saying. How did they even get
Crazy,
it?
man.
That's madness.
And that's something so deep as
That's
well.
what I'm
So
saying. That's what-
something so close to home.
Yeah.
Like it's insane. Like
I don't know.
that grief that you've dealt with, the trauma that you're carrying is deep, and what you've turned it into is insane. And I think a lot of people will get jealous.
Of course they will.
That's what it is.
Hating is the biggest compliment in the world, I say.
100%.
It really is, honestly.
It is. And I think the way you. So how do you deal with the abuse then, if you do get any?
So this is my thing. Like, I'm an ambassador for Pandora, Sky TV. I work with Kiss Nails. These are all massive, worldwide, global brands. I could never look my people at these companies in the eye and say, oh yeah, I responded back to that comment, I'm not risking my bag. So when people are like, oh, you got beef with this, you got beef with that, I'm like, listen, it's not beef because I'm not responding. I've never responded. If someone wants a screenshot and fake it, I've never responded. And that's the biggest thing, is like people that don't get the industry and they think that I could ever, ever, ever turn around and attack someone or do something and get away with it, have lost their minds. I could never do it. I'm never, ever going to risk losing the collaborations of the brands that I've worked with for years and built up my relationship with these people for the sake of just, you know, if I was to speak up against it, 100%, there would be millions of views. There would be a huge hate crowd going against other people that have attacked me. But it's not worth it to me. Why would I lose the bag?
Yeah, it's true. So you've built everything up on your own and you've smashed it and you've come this far now. If you went back to your younger self, or if anyone younger is thinking about doing the same sort of thing, what advice would you give them to help them start?
You know, I'm here with my friend, she's a teacher, and a lot of the kids come up to me, they're like 14, 15, and they're like, oh, how'd you become an influencer, miss? How'd you do it, miss?
That's brilliant.
But that's what the world is now, isn't it?
Yeah,
though?
they all want it, don't they?
Yeah.
And I literally say to them, I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it. Because if I knew that someone was going to pull my mum's death certificate out or that was going to accuse me of, I would be like, boy, think twice. You know, at that time, you know, I know you guys have been in this game for absolutely like 2 decades now, right?
Yeah, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 decades.
Yeah, I've been 9 years.
I'm a Buddha.
It wasn't even internet when I think internet just started when I was doing it. Get off the phone, I'm using internet. So
Yeah,
sorry.
you never had that problem. Do you know how long, when I was growing up in secondary school, it would take to download one song?
No, I don't.
Oh, bro, I remember those days.
4 hours.
CD. I used to have a CD like mixer in my car.
I had a
and stuff,
CD.
4 hours. I think they've had CDs, man. They know what that is.
You know what that is?
Yeah.
I know what a CD player is, mate.
Oh man. But yeah, I mean, because the younger generation now, if you ask them, what do you want to do? I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be an influencer. I want to be... So that's seen to them because of how it's portrayed, because they only see the final product.
So
they
true.
don't see what it takes to get that and to get there and the journey you have to take, you know?
I wouldn't discourage anyone from doing it, because I think if we all approach social media, that we have a unique purpose to be there, whether it's, you know, inspiring people to be in touch with their culture, inspiring people on their fitness journey. You know, myself is there to be a guide for young girls that don't have a mum or sisters, or young boys. I want to teach everyone. That's my specific purpose. If I lead with that, that is bringing a lot more good into the world than the bad that I receive from it. But I think when you kind of come into it not knowing what's going to happen and not being prepared, that's when things can get a little bit scary. And that's when you see people suffering from mental health illnesses as a result of social media. And you don't even need to be an influencer to suffer that on social media as well. So I would want people to be prepared, and I would want them to come to the table with a really unique point of view and stick to that.
Remember that, yeah?
Do you feel that you have to stick to certain guidelines now? Do you feel a little bit boxed in? And do you get like lonely because of that reason?
I feel, you know, people ask me about my business, and I will always say to them, right, I've got, you know, me, my dad, my team, but the amount of stakeholders I have in my business is the 700,000 followers that I have across Instagram and TikTok. I never feel lonely. When I've got my phone in my hand, I've got my community with me, and I feel a strong connection to them. Having said that, you know, the people in my life, they've known me since I was 14. If I was to introduce you to any of my friends, they've been knowing me since secondary school. My best friend is from primary school. 4 years old, we were best friends.
Wow.
So there's never that loneliness. I think you guys can relate to that, like pre and post, you know, popping off publicly or becoming famous in you guys' case. There's a difference in the way that people treat you. And that can be lonely. You can be surrounded by tons of people in a room and you can feel alone, but maintaining those relationships with people that knew you before anything, not that I have anything, but before anything, I think has been such a valuable asset to me moving forward, staying grounded, staying humble, remembering who I am. And to be honest, some days it will be looking that person in the eye that's known me since I was 4 years old, has seen every version of me, and knowing that they're still by my side. I can't be those things that people call me online, or I can't be as good as people call me online as well. Sometimes you need that person to bring you back down to earth.
Oh, to keep you grounded.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, because if you were around yes men or yes women, then you would become a very arrogant person, or...
Anyone would.
Yeah,
You
true.
know?
I think it's important to have real people around you. That's why I hang out with Owais a lot.
Yeah, man, it's important. I mean, in our outcome, our journey, it's strange how us two have held on to our friendship still, because finding genuine people around you in sport, it's rare and it's tough. And as you get older, I used to have loads of friends, but as you get older, your circle does this. And now it's like I can count on my hand how many genuine friends I've got.
And I've still got a few fingers spare. And that,
Ange and Sean. That's it.
I love that though. I love that because when we were at uni and school, it was cool to have loads of Facebook friends.
Yeah.
And you knew everyone from all the other schools and everything like that. But now I'm just like, it's just so not a flex.
Yeah.
Not at all, honestly.
Have that handful of really close friends that really know you, that really ride with you.
Do you get annoyed sometimes when you get approached for pictures and stuff? Like,
No, I really like it. I told you, these people built my brand for me.
You loved it, bro.
Oh, come on. This guy.
I liked it for a week and then it got a bit like...
Every week since our show, reality TV. I'm going to ask you about that later on, actually. But he was like, do you want to go Westfield, boys? Let's go
I
Westfield.
said it once and you lot loved it.
We went Westfield and then it was just, can I get a picture? Some people he would just be like, no. Then he'd be like, I'm joking, come.
That's so funny.
That was actually,
man.
you loved it.
You loved it.
We did. Everywhere. I'd had different gang signs every week. I was like, yeah, man, I'm famous.
So, would you have any advice? Because you do men's stuff as well. So guys like Ange and I who have like beards and like are into our grooming.
Yeah.
Would you have any advice for us or any products in your line that I could use to help me?
First of all, invoice me later. Thanks for the setup.
It's all right.
I always say to people, your beard needs two things. One, you need to exfoliate. So I've got a scrub that you use underneath because what you're not realizing is there's a lot of like food debris. There's a lot of cotton debris from pulling your t-shirt on and off. There's a lot of dead skin that's there. And people will sit there and be like, oh man, I've got a patch in my beard. Why isn't it growing? I can't diagnose anything, but a lot of the times a baby hair is just not strong enough to push past a lump of hard water or a lump of dead skin. So you need to exfoliate, proper detox your beard once a week. Because men who shave, they're manually exfoliating their beard, so they're getting that fresh skin. But when you're not shaving, you're not really cleaning down there, you're not exfoliating, you're not allowing that natural process of the skin to shed.
So you're saying our beards are like dirty right now?
Firstly, I didn't know that. I didn't know how much she knew about. Because I was going to be like, what do you know about beard? You don't shave. You're a woman. What girl? You don't know about it. But that's deep. That's actually deep.
Shut up. Any comeback. Andrew's ready for the comeback.
Yeah, I was just waiting to
Wait, but you were locked in.
Yeah, and I was ready to just go in at you for a second, and then I went, wait 1 second, look back up. I was like, ugh, my beard. Better go home.
Microscope at home. I will come with my microscope.
No,
so we need to like
know your
put
stuff
it under the beard.
Under the beard.
Once a week.
Yes, and I've got a scrub and it has chemical and physical exfoliants. And them little beads? A lot of people don't like them because they get stuck in the hair.
Beads are supposed to like help, I've heard. Because I have to do it on my skin before. But,
exactly. But when you're doing it in hair, it can get stuck. But my beads are made of wood cellulose, so they actually dissolve when you get under hot water, so you don't get stuck. Especially for someone like me, I'd be sat on the sofa for like a week later, pulling the bits. Exactly. So those are.
Do you sell the scrub and like the whole set?
Yeah, we got a beard kit. So it comes with a scrub and then it comes with this oil. So once you've exfoliated everything, put the oil on. Because this has all the nutrients that your hair, that your scalp and your beard needs to actually grow healthy hair. But what I'm seeing as a training trichologist, under the microscope, people are just layering stuff on stuff on stuff. You've got dead skin, you've got hard water, you've got a bit of dirt, you've got a bit of sweat. And then they're putting on the oil and they're like, it's not working.
I feel disgusting right now, don't I? I feel like I haven't cleaned my face in like 20 years now.
What gets rid of the white hairs? Does it do that?
Embrace the white, bro.
He's beard dye.
He's really weird about the white stuff. I love the white.
I think white's cool.
Silver fox in it, bro. Come on.
I know, but if they could just a little bit more, you know.
Do you use that touch of grey?
No, nothing, never, no.
You haven't used anything?
No.
You're
only on the show I used to use that powder on my head before Turkey.
So Ange used to have this powder that he
the fibres.
And then we jumped in water and the water went all black.
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't. It just that area where I was.
Actually, it went back. It's too waterproof.
It went black.
It was.
And I went, bro, what's that black stuff around you? And he goes, it's my hair.
But it stayed all right for the scene.
So as we're talking about hair and stuff, if any guys out there are in that process of maybe I need to go Turkey or something,
Yeah.
or are using the spray and stuff.
Right.
Can we use that in our hair, or is there something else we use in our hair? Because I feel I might need to use it.
Yeah, I've actually got a few friends that have recently come back from Turkey. Would that be okay for them to use and stuff?
Yeah, obviously speak to the doctor first, but this is 100% natural. The thing that's special about this is those baby hairs, A, it's going to help it to anchor
Yep.
the hair into the scalp more.
Yep.
But B, when you are growing new hairs, those hairs are so like fragile and gentle. You're gonna want to use this to give it that moisture. Anything moisture has elasticity. You know, when something's dry, it's very brittle, it can break very easily.
Yeah.
This is going to help ensure that those hairs that you do have are going to be less susceptible to breakage because, you know, you're paying thousands of pounds to have them implanted into your scalp. Imagine you lose just one. That's like £1 or something. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to be losing it. So this is going to help it to maintain it.
So you've had good reviews and you've sold thousands of these already, right?
Yeah. So we're one of the highest rate. I think we're the most awarded indie haircare brand in the UK, but one of the highest rated haircare brands on Trustpilot as well, and we respond to all our reviews.
So are you only available in England right now, or is it an international thing? Is it like where in South Asian countries where there are a lot of Asians with?
So we fulfill from the UK, but we ship internationally. But we also have local partners in terms of retailers, especially in the Middle East. So we're on Namshi in the Middle East. Yeah, Debenhams in the UK. But most of 99% of my sales are D2C directly from our proprietary website.
Right.
And we fulfill it ourselves. We have our own warehouse.
Do you not feel to like reach out like and go to India into that that Indian market
Yeah.
and Pakistan, to be fair,
Yeah.
will be massive for yourself, for your brand?
I would love to do that. So I was talking to my marketing girl today, marketing lady, and she was saying that in order to sell in India without a distributor and without a retailer offering to be your exclusive, you have to have an Indian person
Yep.
as the owner of the business in order to get your license.
That's
And we don't have an Indian person.
You got family back home, no?
None.
Oh, you haven't?
I'm
None.
Indian.
No, I don't have the
Doesn't
thing.
that count?
But I did say that. I did because I was like, my dad was born here, but both his parents are from there. So
But
do we
that
count?
should
or?
count because I lived over there for 3 years and I wanted to start a few businesses there, but I couldn't do it because I needed to do it with someone who's of Indian
native,
origin.
right?
But I thought that if you had family there or some part of your family was born there, because I struggled to get a visa because my grandparents were born in, my parents were born in Pakistan. So I'm sure you can, if your grandparents have roots there and were they born in India?
Yeah. We'll talk later.
Because that's a huge. That's
massive.
That's like a billion. Heads
Very
there.
saturated though. Everyone.
But the thing is, if you come from here,
I agree.
that's a huge thing. Because I came from here and I went there and I was like,
British.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They love
Egyptian
that.
brown, my
So
God,
true.
yeah. And it'll be huge, honestly. And if you come and it looks slick and blah blah blah,
Right.
because over there, image and style and branding and like international brands are a
Right.
really big thing because it's cool to have it because it's not available there and it's from England. See? So you would explode over there, honestly.
Let me have another conversation. We'll try.
Yeah.
Do you remember when we spoke to Cades and she was saying like she's too brown for the white crowd and too white for the brown crowd?
Is that how you, yeah.
Do you kind of like feel that way sometimes?
I mean, if I was to compare myself to someone who's an Indian native, yeah, I definitely would feel like an English girl. I do feel that where my whole bubble is London, I really do be fitting into the culture and the society here. Do you guys feel that way ever?
At times.
I mean, I think the whole reason when we started Cultured Chaos was to kind of like hit these subjects and say, you know what, there is that identity crisis for a lot of us because we do suffer with that look. When Pakistan's playing cricket, I'm like, Pakistan, like who do you support if the cricket was on? England or India?
First of all, not watching the cricket. Second of all, England?
See, no, but I've got a lot.
But
of
who would your
friends who would though?
No, but people are going to cancel me now for saying England.
No,
They're
they're
gonna be like, oh, you're
not.
Punjabi.
Don't worry.
They're going to
No,
cancel
but
me
who would
for
your
hitting the
dad?
armchair there.
Who would your dad support?
That you might get cancelled for, yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? I touched the wire. Someone's going to cancel me for that.
Who would your dad support?
Probably England. Because we're here, right?
Yeah, see,
So it
'cause he
feels
was
like you can
born
celebrate
because
it with
it-
everyone.
because
yeah.
in the-
that's why, yeah. And he was born.
no, but
because you're born here or there.
Here.
Because I was born here, but I lived there till I was like 6. I couldn't speak English, so I mean, I've got that.
But mine's just my parents' influence.
Right.
Yeah, but they still have that because they were born.
Because football, even if Pakistan had a football team, actually, no, I would support Pakistan.
You're
I'm
loyal.
a football team, bro. But I don't support.
I don't know.
I can't say I don't support England.
Because I do support England in football
Yeah.
and every other sport. It's only the cricket where we feel a little bit, which is weird, isn't it? It's a
Because
weird.
it's an Asian sport, right?
It's an Asian sport.
Who originated it? Was it
No,
India?
it's a British sport.
England
invented
They
literally
invented it
all
in,
the sport.
in Asia. They didn't invent everything, bro.
Bruv, you cannot come. You cannot say England did not invent cricket.
England invented everything.
Yeah, they did.
Cricket,
But we've been
football.
reading English history books growing up. So
communism.
how do we know who wrote that? Do you know what I mean?
That's a strong opinion. That's
I'm just fucking wanted to get a reaction.
that's going viral. We've got one.
Welcome.
Well done.
I know.
That's sick.
Brexit. Don't get me started on that.
Oh, God.
Football. Say all the words. Religion, politics.
Yeah, I know.
Say all of them in one go now. That's crazy, man. So yeah, you'd support England, yeah, and cricket.
You're stressing me out now because I think that's the wrong answer. I don't watch
There
it.
is no such thing.
I don't
There is
know.
no wrong answer. I think that everyone's entitled to their own.
Yes.
And the thing is, the world is so culturally meshed now that in our parents and ancestors and elders' times, it was that you were all in the same community. We've all merged now, so I think that there is no wrong answer of whether you're.
Do you think we're way past that as well?
I mean,
Like-
I'm saying right or wrong answer per my dad watching this, and he's going to be like, "What do you mean?" So
Oh.
I might get it wrong by him. But I think
Yeah.
it's England.
We can invite him on the next podcast.
Yeah.
I came on here to set the facts straight.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious. Actually, I want you and your dad on one of the episodes. I think that'd be great to have both of them.
Story, honestly,
That would be insane. I just want to touch up on beauty standards in this day and age. I don't know.
When did you? Wow.
Uh,
I never thought I'd hear that sentence come out of Ange Baig's mouth. This is a moment right now for me. Go on. Anyway, ask again. I want to hear it again. Go on.
Sorry. So let's talk about beauty standards for a second. 1 second. The oil's working. No I'm joking. What was I going to say? Kim Kardashian's mum. What's her name?
Kris Jenner,
That's it.
facelift.
Isn't that the dad? No,
What?
sorry. Isn't that the dad?
No, oh, wait. Have you seen it?
What?
So
I've never watched an episode of it.
no,
ever.
forget
What are
the
you
show.
talking about?
Kim Kardashian's mum is like 70 years old.
Yeah, I know who mum is.
She's literally got a brand new face where she looks exactly like Kim Kardashian. It's
Shut
insane.
up.
So I just want Erim's opinion on this, on beauty standards today, and what do you make of all of that stuff?
First of all, I think it's incredible what modern science,
Can do.
modern medicine can do. Because I was shocked when I saw her, but I think she looks stunning, and I think she looks amazing. She looks amazing.
My wife's gonna kill me, but yeah, she looks amazing. Hang on.
Yeah, but you know what it is? I think every woman, if they were in her shoes, so public facing, you have all that money, you have access to the best doctors in like LA or wherever the doctors are in America. I think every woman in her shoes would probably do it. Not 100%, but most
No,
women would.
100%. Most, all of them
Yeah.
would, I think, because it's that if you can, you
Yeah.
would.
I mean, I think there's so much power to like aging naturally. And, you know, you and I were speaking about this earlier. Like, I look a bit like my mum. And I think if I was to change my nose or my lips or something like that, I would be dishonoring the face that's left of her on this earth. But I
Wow.
think, yeah, but Kris
deep.
Jenner, I think being so Hollywood and so big, like, she must be under, you know, we're talking about trolling. Can you imagine what they're getting? She must be under so much pressure to look a certain way. The only thing is like, I worry that, you know, being 70, my daddy is 76. My daddy could not do the things that people would expect Kris Jenner to do physically. Inside, Kris Jenner is still 70 something. Do you know what I mean? So I hope she still gets treated with that respect of being a grandmother, and not, I hope she's not getting pushed just because she looks so young now.
That's such a deep take.
I want to see what she looks like now. I'm curious.
You're gonna be mind blowing if I show it to you.
Are you actually going to take it out?
Yeah, I'll just show it to you in a second. Man. It's actually like you're gonna be like, oh, I actually want your reaction from this. What is it, Kris Jenner? What shall I write? New face.
Or like facelift or something.
Images. There you go.
Wait, why did I think you were searching on TikTok?
No, I googled it.
Shut
I
up.
should have in it.
TikTok's the new search engine.
I know.
It really
I'm
is.
such a millennial.
Wow. I mean,
Brother.
respect.
So when are you gonna go?
I mean, I'm like, look, how's this? Is that good?
No, I see. I
I mean,
I don't-
no. I'm looking. Yeah.
So with your brand, like that's why I asked that question, because I was just like, because it's a very natural sort of, and like it's very organic, isn't it? So you wouldn't ever like.
Are you asking if she's had anything?
No, 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 no.
I'm joking.
Have you?
Not yet.
You look a little bit Botoxy today.
No, look, my forehead moves.
Oh, mine doesn't,
Yours doesn't move.
I know.
Definitely.
No, I swear. Wallahi, I have not had Botox.
Do you have that?
But when I went Turkey to do my hair, like the front bit, the hairline was crazy. It was doing the whole McDonald's thing. But no.
It's called a widow's peak, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
What?
Widow's
Men's pattern baldness comes in different shapes. So you had M shape baldness. That's what it's called. Some guys have U shape, where it's like the corners of their this and this go.
You've studied all this stuff, haven't you?
Yeah.
It's her brand. Imagine if she obviously she knows.
No, because a lot of people don't think that.
Yeah,
Without being horrible, people may assume you're just an influencer, and I hate that word, to be honest. But they might think you're just endorsing, or some factories just hit you up, and you're just created this. But it's a lot deeper than that. You know?
It is. And like people are really invested into their hair care journey, and hair is such a intimately personal, emotional thing, did you feel more confident when you come back?
I mean, if I'm honest, because I was on the show, I got everything like sorted out for me, and I was like, I'll just do it. But I did get a little bit more confidence, but it was more when I had a bald head and I was this big muscle guy. It was more like when I went into certain rooms, I looked very intimidating. So there's certain deals or certain brands that just didn't want to work with me. So when I got the good boy, Assalamu alaikum, Ange, it done wonders.
Yeah.
It did.
But I bet you have so many questions and you want them questions answered. So
Of
I
course.
think for me, where I'm in my DMs, I answer all my DMs that I see. And I will get people asking me intimate questions like, this will happen, I had a baby and then postpartum, hair loss, da, da, da. And I was like, they're coming to me, trusting me. How can I not give them the scientifically correct answer? So actually on Friday, we're launching one-to-one consultations on my website. So probably when this goes live, it will be available. So you can book in for a half an hour slot with me to really get into depth of your hair care journey, what your goals are and how to maneuver that.
I've got half an hour now to do it.
Have you got money?
Yeah. So I'll book that. I'll DM you and book that. The fact that you get back to everyone, and there's something else that you do. It's this Q&A sort of every other day I've seen, and you give advice, and like I think that's really interactive. It's really nice what you do, because she gives life advice.
No, but it isn't. You're not just posting for the sake of posting as you do often.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's actual substance.
Yep.
Behind
You're adding value, which
Yeah.
is important.
There's a balance, like I went viral recently. Shout out to DJ Lion. He did a remix with my voice to that. That song was like, I'm looking for a guy in finance, 6'5".
Oh yeah.
I did the Asian one. I'm looking for a girl with brown eyes, long hair, low iron, attitude. I've never gone that viral. I offered no value by going viral from that audio. Gained so many followers. So I think there's a balance of what you do, which is
of course,
the virality kind of like side of things. But
Yep.
then equally, I think a lot of people, their approach to social media is like, oh, how do I grow? And I'm like, right, if these are your followers, why are we looking at Nancy over here, Anna over there, Jacob over here? Also, I had 3 English names. Don't know why I said that.
Name. That's amazing.
No, but as in the people that don't follow you, why are we focusing so much on those? Why don't we pour into our existing community and focus on them? Because then organically via word of mouth, they're going to then spread the word of you. So that's my biggest advice when it comes to people focusing on follower growth. And that's where those videos of substance come in, because I'm trying to give as much value and reward the people that already follow me as a thank you for following me, because I'm profiting from having a social media page. But not only that, I'm getting the gratification for knowing that, that little 12-year-old girl who was me, who didn't understand I was very lost with a lot of things growing up, like periods. I had no idea how they worked, was so confused when it happened to me. At least now, if there's one girl that's out there that doesn't have a mum, she knows she can come to Erim and there's going to be a video about it or something, and she's less alone. So I also get that gratification from it. So it's like a two dynamic thing that you've got to do with socials.
See, a lot of people don't think about that. That's how deep that is.
About what?
Just growing up without a mum. Now growing out with a mum, and then these personal problems that women face and then they have, and then something that I know you're very protective of your brand, but I've also seen you advocate UK, and you've been a very strong supporter of a cause, and there's a war in a certain region, and you've actually shed a little bit of light on your platform about that. The question is that without getting cancelled, why did you, like, as if in, what gave you the guts to literally just stand up and be like, you know what, this isn't right, what's going on here.
Yeah.
Let me speak out about this. Because that was really powerful what you did.
Thank you. I think as an influencer, you're going to get pressure to talk about every single cause that happens. I'm sure you guys get it. There'll be a war in this country or a atrocity in that country, and you can empathise and you can donate and you can handle it privately. But it is not useful for you to speak on a topic that you're not familiar with. So anything that comes to Punjab causes or Sikh causes, to the extent that I know I feel confident and educated about it, I will bring awareness to it, because this is the community that built this brand for me. These are the community that made me who I am. So who am I not to talk about the plight of my people? I actually work very, very closely with the Sikh Press Association, and behind the scenes I will have conversations with them. They will share assets with me. They will review videos for me if I ask them to, just to ensure that the facts and figures and the information that I'm putting out there is verified. Yeah. So I would definitely recommend any influencer to work with an organization like that, whether it's the Sikh Association or it's something, the equivalent in the Islam community, something like that, Muslim community.
No, because you stood up for the Palestine cause as well. Like, you've been very supportive to just humanity in general. And it doesn't go unnoticed, man. Like, it's impressive that you stood up at a time where every other influencer was really...
Yeah, shying away. I mean, a lot of people in influential positions haven't spoken about it because of the fear of losing followers or getting hate. But
I mean, I have a huge Muslim community that follow me. Like, it's not just Punjabis out here. I'd say probably even like 40% of my followers are Muslim.
Wow.
Like, how can I, that's what I'm saying, how can I do them an injustice by not speaking up for a cause that is impacting not just their community, not just their country, but the world, you know? That one is a globally recognised one.
Yeah, no, of course.
We
Of
can all
course.
see that.
Oh, but big respect for that, because a lot of influencers stayed quiet. A lot of people, they just didn't. A lot of people just stayed quiet. Just that fear of...
It's ongoing.
Yeah.
It's still happening now.
Yeah, it's such a shame. Such a shame. And like, there's going to be so many children now out there that will grow up without a parent or without... Do you know what I mean? So I think
So
you
true.
add so much value, you know, because your story, I think that everyone needs to hear it. And, you know, the way you dealt with grief is absolutely phenomenal, because you've turned that pain into something so great, where even old guys like us can benefit, you know. Imagine, like, with the beard oil, and, like, you know, and it just adds value to people's lives. So respect to you. And yeah, no, go on.
Can I go?
Yeah, of course.
All right. So honestly, all that aside, so I mean, you've come this far. You've done so much, and you've achieved so much. What do you see in the future of by Erim?
I would love for us to be in like strong retailers. You know, already we're in Debenhams, Namshi, I mentioned earlier, but I feel that we have so much potential to have like in-store presence. So I'd love to see us in the likes of Harvey Nichols. Space NK has always been a dream of mine. I love the curation of brands. And then on a personal level, you know, we were speaking, I would love to be like actually on TV presenting, just because I think I talk to my phone so much, and I think I'm in that bubble of social media so much, that I would love to be just one platform removed and just talk on TV about things.
Like a QVC vibe.
She'd be great on QVC. I could see her do.
Thing is, where you've gifted us with a few of these, you know, beard oils, like, I'm going to give you a little golden nugget and just say, start the TikTok live, your show is there. Does that make sense?
Right.
We can then give you an idea for Erim's reality TV show as well, but that's another conversation, isn't it? You know? But, you know, your family and your friends, like your closest, nearest and dearest, do they see, like, Erim, the content creator, entrepreneur, or do they see this, you know, different side to you? Like, what do your family and friends like think of you and see?
I think like there's always an element that you guys can relate to as well. Like, you're going to show up as the persona or the character that you've created on social media. And I find it very easy to step into being Erim Kaur, because she is me. I'm not a fake person, but there's elements of of my personality that lend itself to Erim Kaur. There's elements of my personality that lend itself to being the natural, relaxed, a bit more subdued, a bit more reserved, a bit more shy person that I can also be. You know, we asked my friend this question before we answered, and she said that you're an ambivert through and through. Sometimes I'll switch on, I'll be really extroverted, I'll be center of the room, I'll be talking. If you guys see me at an exhibition where I'm selling my products, I'll be stood on the table. I've got my last hairbrush, who wants it? But then if you guys catch me at home or with my friends, like, I'm quietly just following them. And I'm happy to be just silent, you know, going home. I put Bart on, so like my prayer. I journal, I watch my Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like, I just be in my little bubble and I love it.
Wow, you're normal. She's a normal.
So in the small amounts of spare time you do have, is that what you enjoy, just to turn off from the world?
Yeah, I guess so. And I like going gym as well, as we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
It's like a social thing as well. You know, when you're used to your gym.
Yeah.
So it feels like that. And those people don't know me as Erim Kaur unless they follow me or something like that. Like sometimes they do, but I can kind of just show up in the way that I feel on that day without feeling a pressure of, because at the end of the day, you know, like you hear about it all the time. You know, a celebrity has had, not that I'm a celebrity, but they've had a bad day, then they're, you know, not coming across well to waiters or something. And then the waiter then goes and sells a story to Heat magazine and they were awful. They came in, they were moody.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm quite aware of that. And not that I'm even remotely relevant enough for people to talk about in that way, but I would want to ensure that everybody that does meet me gets to know the real me and gets to experience, like, you know what? I met that Erim guy, you know, the hair oil one. She was actually kind of nice. I want, at the bare minimum, someone to be able to walk away knowing that about me.
Do you feel that you get caught in a space sometimes where you're chasing, not you personally, just in general, being in that space?
Validation, yeah.
Because me and Owais talking about this off camera.
I feel that the people that are in the public eye, because I've been in, and friends I've had in the industry, you're all striving for that, whether it's from some sort of trauma you've experienced or other things in your life. It's whether it's an insecurity all of us have, I don't know, but we're all trying to seek that little bit of validation from people. Do you feel that that's something you still do? Because I've found with age I care a lot less about that now.
I am.
Yeah.
But I was seeking validation from everyone before. And I
was always concerned about what will that. I'm like, bro.
And now, like, I don't care. The more I don't care, the more success I'm seeing, which is insane.
I really love to hear that. I think my moral compass is set by my dad. Like, if I do something and my dad says to me, "Man, that was wrong," that will hurt me. That's a validation that I want. I want to know that, like, my dad's like, "You did the right thing there." And I think because we grew up so close, and I say grew up because he grew up with us, you know? Yeah. He was 23 when I was born, so he's like my big brother sometimes. Oh. I look to him regarding that moral compass side of things. Yeah. In the external, I definitely have always been, prior to even having social media, someone that does care about the way that I portray myself. But if I'm being totally raw with you guys, I think it comes from me not having a female role model. I had no aunties, no cousins, no sisters. So all I had was my daddy. But we know, you know, when it's a grandparent, they're not necessarily understanding how to fit into modern world. They are just the entity of a grandma, right? So I was always looking to the women around me. What is the signal to know that this is the way that a woman is to behave in this scenario? Like at weddings, I would sit on my dad on the guy side, on the guy side with my dad, because I did not know the responsibility of a woman. I did not get taught it. So I think that place that I come from, which is wanting to be perceived well, is essentially wanting to be perceived correctly, which is I am doing the right thing that girls meant to do, right? Like, girls are meant to sit like this, right? I think as I've grown older and I've developed more and more relationships with women, I've got a godmother now, like, I've come to learn. But if you know me, and I think, Ange, you're quite a perceptive person, I'm a very observant person when it comes to women. I'd be watching the way that they're behaving, the mannerisms, the way that they're talking, and I'm absorbing all of it. Even at 30, I'm absorbing all of it.
Yeah. But is there a right way for a woman or a man to sit? Or does that make sense? Like,
you know, I think in this day and age, a lot of people would say no. Like, I'm very, very into etiquette.
Yep.
So I learn about all of these things and I research it and everything. And I think there is so much grace to be said with a woman that can handle herself and hold herself in a very feminine, not even openly feminine, but like as a woman. There's a difference between a woman and a man. And I think there's so much grace to knowing and handling yourself the way that you want to be perceived by the world. If I wanted to lean into more masculine, I would know the qualities that would enable me to do that. I would change my body language and everything. But You
How
know,
would you do it? No, I'm joking.
today I'm sitting in the feminine.
No, because the thing is, that's because I agree with you on that, but the world and society might not, because they're a lot more. Everything's. I don't want to go down that.
Closed-minded, man. A lot of them are.
They would
How-
say it's open-mindedness and wokeness, but
But it's
in my
personal
opinion,
choice, how you express yourself.
Yeah.
So you could do anything that you wanted to do, and it's not my decision how you handle yourself, but it's my decision how I handle myself. And that's all you can control in this world. And I'm choosing to present myself in this way and to research about etiquette and to follow the women that I think are demonstrating to me the way that I aspire to be. If there's a woman that aspires to be a different way, that's her personal choice, and she is 100% in her right to express it that way. And I will stand by her thick and thin. I really believe that.
Thank you for that.
100%. Can I talk about something slightly controversial now? Okay, cool. All right. So basically, I love this part because Owais doesn't know what Angie's going to say. And then my guest is also shitting themselves thinking, Angie's so reckless sometimes. But here we are. So a couple of weeks ago, you asked me to help one of your friends find a rishta or something like that, right? And I remember I replied to you and I said, I don't know if you watched the show that me and Owais were. I had a little bit of a disaster doing that, Erim, and
Why? When did that happen? Why? What did you try and do?
basically I was like saying, I was saying, are you with me?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I don't remember the show. I was like in year 7.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So no, basically, I said to Erim, I said,
The show is old, isn't it?
it is, it's really old. I was saying, I can't do this because if I introduce your friend to someone
Yeah.
and that messes up, I'm responsible and I'm accountable for that mess up.
You didn't think about that 10 years ago, did you, bro?
It doesn't matter, it's relevant now. 'Cause you are in a beautiful space right now, so that's good. That's very good, isn't it? But what's your thoughts like? Because I remember you didn't bait me out, but you did answer the question on your
Social media.
and I love that you did that because it was just like, guys, you know, what did you say again? I can't remember because it was awesome.
I just think like what you could do to change someone's life, which is to introduce someone to the level of their life, potentially, the good of doing that outweighs the potential risk of that person being insane, basically. And I think that we can't account for the way that your friend shows up as an insane person in a romantic relationship because everyone's different romantically, platonically. You don't know your friend in a romantic sense, whoever they may be, person A. You don't know how they are. And I feel like I'm not reading the context of this conversation.
Well, no, you
I'm
are.
missing
You are.
what
You're
saying.
hitting.
You are.
You're hitting
But
it.
This is
Okay.
your view, so it's really interesting to hear that because
This is why when she said
very
it,
interesting to hear that because I'm.
when she said this on,
Yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna mention this. I have to.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
I'm not.
It was
Yeah,
insane.
what is it?
Sorry, carry on.
So listen, like you are not accountable. And any intelligent person, if type person A has turned around and been insane, they're not going to come to you because they're going to be like, oh, you obviously don't know them in a romantic sense. So you are not to blame. But imagine the absolute reward that you would get karmically for introducing someone to the love of their life and changing their life, like giving them a husband or a wife, enabling them to take that next step into children, etc. Like, what a blessing. So I think it's worth the risk, personally. I'm always looking out for my girlfriends.
So what you're saying is forget about Tinder and Hinge and Bumble. People should just hit you up
Oh.
and say, find me a rishta, please.
Here, go back to arranged marriages.
Please don't hit me up
There
for
you
that.
go. There you go, guys.
Hit him
Anyone
up.
looking for a rishta?
Always, what's your take on that? Like, do you agree with that? Because that was
I mean, it's an interesting take on it. It's so nice to hear someone so positive about it because the world and people are quite negative in general, and a lot of people are insane.
Yeah.
And I mean, we know people who've been.
No, and I'm not going to
introduced or
talk
tried
about
to introduce. No,
like,
I'm not about me.
Yeah, but I've done it in the
People in
past
general.
where I've tried to help and be that
Right.
nice guy, and I ended up in shit. Where I was like, oh, but you introduced me to Rishta, and then do you mean the blame game
Wasn't
starts, innit?
An emotionally intelligent person to blame you for the actions of someone else. Like you would never knowingly introduce someone to a bad guy or
Yeah.
a bad girl. Do you know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean? Like
yeah,
you're doing the best with the information that you have at the time. Now you know,
100%.
you know? But no, I get you because not everyone's like that, and some people are going to blame you, but it's not an advanced way to think.
You're looking at the world in a very positive way and hoping that people think along the same lines as you. Whereas I'm not sure if a lot of people do.
Yeah, but this is why,
I
again,
love that. If the whole world thought like you, would be a very peaceful and happy. No, honestly, peaceful and happy place.
Yeah.
Because you've found you're working on that every day to find happiness and build your own happiness. And you're thinking that if I can give someone else that joy, however it is, which is an awesome way to think. Because as I said, the world, there's a lot of sadness and anger and stuff in the world. So as I said, if everyone thought like you, it would be great.
and you practice gratitude every morning, every day. We see it the same way we pray, like Fajr prayer. You're,
Posting Waheguru on my stories every
yeah,
day,
that's it.
And it holds me accountable because I know that people are expecting me to post it every day. So I make sure the first thought I have is Waheguru, because that word basically, you could have an equivalent if you are just someone that is into spirituality. You could wake up and say gratitude, or you could say alhamdulillah, or whatever it is that you feel comfortable saying. As long as that is the first thought that you have in your mind in the morning, I think it sets the tone for your day. And I want to encourage people to do that, not just Sikhs that follow me, but whatever word means something to you, to wake up and say that first.
I like that.
That's beautiful, man. That's deep.
I'm gonna start that.
What, praying Fajr in the mornings?
Yeah.
It's changed my life, man,
I
honestly.
could see. No, I mean getting up with that positive,
Yeah.
because it can be hard at times.
How has it changed your life, praying Fajr in the morning?
Like, for me, just being up that early, seeing the sun rise, it just does something to you. I can't explain it. It's literally like witnessing a miracle every morning.
Wow.
I saw it. I'm in such a different headspace right now.
Done something that I said to Angie at the start of the year. Angie goes, "What are your resolutions this year?" I want to create time
Oh, yeah.
for myself.
Yeah.
Because time is the one thing everybody wants, but they can't get back because it's gone. So what he's done, he's created time, which is unbelievable.
It's insane. And where I am right now, and I can see, like, I learned this recently. Your brain doesn't know the difference between something that you think about deeply and something that has really happened. So what she manifests and her positive energy, talking about marriage, this or that, the positive light, and she don't see the negative.
Yeah, I know.
So her reality,
that's what I'm saying, it's great.
Erim's reality is different to everyone else's, and that's probably why you're going to be so much more successful, and you're hitting like every note, and you're getting success because you're manifesting it.
Thank you. And it's thanks to people like you guys, like in these types of positions, men as well, like in general, like giving access to opportunities to women like me, to people from our background, that helps to elevate us as a community. So thank you so much for creating this space for people like me.
We have to, man. That's what Cultured Chaos is about, to celebrate, our culture.
What it's about now, because in our culture, I think women are achieving and doing so much more, and they're striving. They've gone past us, I think, personally. But I mean, you go. So it's important to embrace that and celebrate it.
100%. And before we wrap up, I want to say, Erim, would you ever do a reality show like the Erim show? Would you ever do that? Because I think it would really suit your brand and yourself,
I think so. I never thought about it, but I think I would.
That's an idea. We'll speak to her.
Yeah, why not?
One viewer, my dad. Shout out to you.
Yeah, like insight into your life and what you do and how everything works. I think
That's the world now. People are so engrossed into everyone else's. What does she do? What's she doing in the morning? Why is she doing it like this? What car is she driving? What's she doing? It's honestly
100%.
Let's do it.
100%. Erim, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on Cultured Chaos. Erim Kaur, Baig, Owais Khan. We're out.